Hello, today I'm going to go over 30, 60, 90 triangles. So a 30, 60, 90 triangle comes from the idea if you take a equilateral triangle, right? We know that in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are the same and all the angles are, all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent. Now, if you draw an altitude on a 30, 60, or I'm sorry, if you draw an altitude on an equilateral triangle, an altitude makes a 90-degree angle with the base. It also is a median on an equilateral triangle, which means that it cuts the base in half, okay? And it's an angle bisector, which means that it cuts this angle in half, okay? So what you end up with is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? We've got a 90-degree angle here, a 60-degree angle here, and then since we cut that 60 in half, this is 30 degrees, okay? So that's kind of where it comes from. Now, I could go through and show you by Pythagorean's theorem why these ratios work out. So basically, the side across from 30 is equal to A, the side across from 90 is equal to 2A, and the side across from 60 is equal to A root 3. And the reason for that is, right, we cut this side in half, and we end up, if that's 2A, then that has to be A, because we cut it in half. And then if you go and do Pythagorean's theorem, you'll get that this side has to be equal to A root 3. So this is kind of going to be our reference point as we go through and solve pretty much all of these 30, 60, 90 triangles. So make sure you copy this down on your paper so that you can reference back to it, all right? All right, so basically the way I recommend doing these problems is before you begin to solve it, go and label all of your sides. Okay, so first off, you have to make sure you have a 30, 60, 90. Well, you have a 90-degree angle here, a 30 here. You could do 180 minus minus, and you will get that this is 60 here, okay? So now we have all of those ratios I talked about, right? So what we're gonna go do is go and label the sides associated with these ratios. So we know that the side across from 60 is going to be our A root 3. The side across from 30 is going to be our A. And then the side across from 90 is our 2A. All right. So whenever you are doing these, make sure you label all of your sides. Then once you have all of your sides labeled, what I always recommend doing is thinking, okay, did they give me my A or do I need to work to find my A? All right, if they gave you the side across from 30, that means that they gave you your A, and you don't have to find it. You already know what it is. If they gave you any other side, you're going to have to work a little bit to find your A. So in this case, they did not give me my A. They gave me my 2A side. So I know that 2A is equal to 16. Well, I need to go and solve for A. So what I'm going to do is divide by 2. And I get that A is equal to 8. All right. So if my A value is equal to 8, that means that in this case, my Y is going to be equal to 8. Then my side across from 60 is equal to A root 3. Well, if my A value is equal to 8, my A root 3 is going to be equal to 8 times root 3, which is just 8 root 3. So there's my X and there's my Y. All right. Let's try number 2 here. So again, what we need to do is label our sides, okay? So we know that the side across from 60 is equal to A root 3. We know that the side across from 30 is equal to A. And we know that the side across from 90 is equal to 2A. All right? So in this case, what did I get? Well, they gave me my A value here. So that means I don't have to work to find it. I know what it is. All right. So if my A is if my A is 5, okay, my 2A should be pretty easy to find, right? My X value here is equal to 2 times A. Well, if my A is 5, I do 2 times 5, I get 10. So X is going to be equal to 10. My Y value here is equal to A times root 3. So I take my A value, which is 5, I multiply it by root 3, I just get 5 root 3. So that's what my Y is equal to. You do have to make sure that you rationalize and simplify everything as you go along. So keep that in mind. But in this case, so far, everything's been rational and simplified. All right, let's go ahead and try this one here. All right, so again, first thing I'm going to do is go label all of my sides. I've got that my side across from 60 is equal to a root 3. I've got that my side across from 90 is equal to 2a. And I've got that my side across from 30 is equal to a. So in this case, they did not give me my a value right off the bat. I'm going to have to work for it a little bit, but that's okay. So we know that my a root 3 is equal to 8 root 3. So if 8 root 3 is equal to a root 3, again, my goal is I got to find a, right? Did they give it to me? No, so I got to work for it. I got to solve for a here. To get a by itself, I'm going to divide by root 3. Now, sometimes you might have to rationalize, but in this case, the root 3's just cancel, so I get that a is equal to 8, which means that y is going to be equal to 8. And if my a value is equal to 8 and x is equal to 2a, I just do 2 times 8, which gives me 16. So my x is equal to 16. All right, let's try another one here. We could do 5 here. All right, so again, we need to go and label all of our sides. I've got my side across from 90 is 2a, my side across from 30 is a, and my side across from 60 is a root 3. So in this case, they did give me my a, which is nice. When they give you your a, it makes your life a lot easier. A little bit easier, I guess. So I know that a is equal to 9 over 2. Okay. So to find 2a, I'm going to have to do 2 times 9 over 2. You can plug that in your calculator, or you could do it in your head. Either way, you get 9. Okay. So I get that m is equal to 9. Then, for n here, I have to take my a value and multiply it by root 3. Well, if my a is 9 over 2, I do 9 over 2 times root 3. Well, you can turn anything into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. I just get 9 root 3 all over 2. And that is what n is. All right, let's try another one. Let's see. All right, this would be a good one. I'm going to drag this down. Oh, you do have to memorize this ratio. So keep that in mind, but after doing enough of these, hopefully it should kind of stick in your brain. All right, so let's see. We've got the side across from 90 is our 2a. The side across from 60 is our a root 3, and the side across from 30 is our a value. All right, so we look and we're like, okay, did they give me my a value? They did not, so I need to work to find my a. Oops. So I can see here that they gave me my a root 3, so I'm going to say, okay, well, a root 3 is equal to 9. So I need to find a. I need to figure out what a is equal to. Well, I'm going to divide by root 3. I get that a is equal to 9 over root 3, which, yes, this is accurate. However, it's not rationalized. If you remember, we cannot leave a radical in the denominator, so we need to go and rationalize this. So I'm going to do root 3, I get 9 root 3 all over the square root of 9, which is 9 root 3 all over 3. This 9 and this 3 simplify, so I end up with a is equal to 3 root 3, because 9 divided by 3 is 3. So in this case, v is equal to 3 root 3. Now to find my u, I got to do 2 times a. Well, if a is 3 root 3, I take that and I multiply it by 2. Well, 3 root 3 times 2, oh, what did I just do? Oopsie daisy. What the heck? Keep it up. Okay, thanks so much. Please go away. Anyhow, I do 3 root 3 times 2. I end up with 6 root 3. Remember, you multiply the numbers on the outside, you multiply the numbers on the inside of the radical. So I get 6 root 3, and I can't simplify that. That's my u. So I got my v and my u. All right, let's try this one. So again, we need to go label our sides. So I'm going to label this my 2a, I'm going to label this my a, and I'm going to label this my a root 3. So they did not give me my a value right off the bat, so I'm going to have to work for it a little bit. So I get that 2a is equal to 4 root 3. So I need to go and figure out what a is. So to do that, I'm going to divide by 2. Well, when I divide by 2, I get that a is equal to 2 root 3, which means that n is equal to 2 root 3. Next, to find my m, I need to do a times root 3. Well, if a is 2 root 3, I'm going to do 2 root 3 times root 3. I get 2 root 9, which is 2 times 3, which is 6. So m is equal to 6. One thing, any a's that are already there, just change them to x's. It'll make your life easier when you're trying to solve. So if you have ones that like already have a's to begin with, just label them x. Change the a's to x's so that you don't get confused. All right, let's try 17. That one looks tricky, right? So we go and label all of our sides. We got a, 2a, and a root 3. All right. So in this case, they did give me my a, which is nice. I don't have to work for it, making my life easier. So I get that a is equal to 10 root 3 over 3. Well, I need to find 2a. So I take my a and multiply it by 2. So I'm going to do 10 root 3 all over 3. And then I have to multiply that by 2. Well, that's like multiplying by 2 over 1, which is going to give me 20 root 3 over 3. I can't simplify 20 over 3, so I just have 20 root 3 over 3 as my m. Oh my goodness, I keep doing this. 20 root 3, over 3. Then, to find my n, I need to take my a value, which is 10 root 3 over 3, and multiply that by root 3. Remember, you can turn anything into a fraction by putting it over 1. I get 10 root 9 over 3, which gives me 10 times 3 over 3, which gives me 30 over 3, which gives me 10. You could also, at this point, just cancel out the 3's and see that it's 10. Whatever works for you. But either way, we get that n is equal to 10.